Nutrient pollution is not a helpless situation. There are things we can do. Now, there are things we can do as a city. These are things like simply educating people. We don't realize that in-education is one of the biggest downfalls of our society, and if we simply educate our citizens and our children as to what they can do to help combat an issue, and any places they can go to learn more if they're interested, this solves all problems, and no one has a right to argue if they've been educated. We can enforce our laws surrounding pet waste and garbage disposal. There's no excuse for putting something where it doesn't belong, considering it takes 10 seconds to either hold on to it until you find another garbage can or throw it in a proper bin. You can plant greens and shrubbery that absorbs runoff from areas where you can't help but get a little bit of drainage. So, like downtown by the waterfront, we could plant more greens to prevent any excess runoff from going where it shouldn't be. We can also require city workers and construction teams to learn about this topic so that they can use the knowledge in their day to day work, making sure useful greenery stays put so runoff is absorbed as much as possible. This means that the more that those workers can use their knowledge to say, hey, let's not cut down that tree so that that erosion doesn't happen, and that way that area is safe. Now, there's city, but then farmers in rural areas can actually do separate things depending on where you live. Farmers can follow nutrient and manure management plans to make sure they aren't oversaturating the ground with unnecessary nutrients that'll just flow right into our water and cause more of a problem. They can install proper drainage and even get creative if they can't afford it, but they can definitely make an attempt to make sure the runoff that happens isn't going towards any major body of water. They can also plant a buffer strip, which is a strip of plants that absorb runoff near close to the edge of a body of water or a river, so that when runoff does occur, those plants absorb as much runoff as possible, and as little as possible actually goes into our water.